course, was mint condition, breaking my heart. So over the weekend, ex-police officer, St. Louis police officer Jason Stockley, was acquitted of killing Anthony Smith, a suspected drug dealer. For those of you who don't know, he was seen on tape, on video, saying, "I'm going to kill this N-word." And shortly after, he killed him. That man was dead. So, of course, he left the police department. He has a trial, and he decided to let a bench trial, which lets the judge do it instead of a jury. As hard as it is to get a jury, 12 people, to convict a police officer, it's even harder to get a judge. Now, the gun that they found in Anthony Smith's car, a lot of people believe that it was planted by Jason Stockley because no one saw it on any other videotapes. There was none of his DNA on it. But the judge, a bench trial, says that he's not convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that the prosecutor hadn't convinced him that Jason Stockley had done it, even though he was heard saying, "I'm going to kill this N-word," even though none of his DNA, the suspect's DNA, was on the gun. Here's what I'll tell you. There is nothing that people can see that will convince them that something happens when a policeman kills a black man. Nothing. I will stop appealing to America's sense of decency when it comes to watching policemen slaughter black people, because apparently they have shown they have none. I won't ask you to be human, because apparently you think we are not. I won't ask you to treat us as you would your own. I won't ask you to be fair, because those words fall on deaf ears when it comes to the judicial system and watching black people being slaughtered systematically by a police officer. And stop telling me, if you get on my timeline and say something dumb like black on black crime, before there was a such slogan as black on black crime, policemen were slaughtering black people. Before anything else, before we lived in our segregated neighborhoods, before anything, this is the way it has always been. So my appeals and everybody else's appeals for you, the American people and the American judicial system, to just see us as humans is ridiculous. I will ask you this. Since you don't see us as human, since you don't see us as people, since us being slaughtered doesn't even ripple the water to you, see us as the very animals it's okay for you to hunt. You couldn't do to animals that it's okay for you to slaughter. You couldn't do that to them. You couldn't kill them around their neighborhoods. You couldn't kill so many of the young. You couldn't kill so many females. You couldn't kill this many at a different rate. You'd be over the bag limit. Don't treat us as human, because you've shown us that you cannot. Give us the same protections as the very animals that it's okay for you to kill, that you get a license for. You could not do to them what you do to us. You couldn't set an animal up. You couldn't kill it next to its den. You couldn't bait it. You couldn't kill it if it were young. You couldn't kill it if it were female. You could only bag so many a year. Damn, being a human being, treat me like you would a white-tailed deer during hunting season. All right, that's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.